I think one of those misconceptions in the world out there is that Montessori children do whatever they like. But it's within limits, and it's based on the capacity of that developmental stage of the child. For parents who said, no, this is actually what I want for my child. I want my child to be independent. I want my child to think for themselves, to own their learning. It's not actually a decision that's risky for them, because this is actually how they've chosen to raise their children.
The school was really in survival mode. We were very small. People's access to information about education wasn't perhaps as wide as it is now. And there wasn't a lot known about Montessori, and we identified ourselves by what we weren't. We weren't mainstream, we weren't a denominational school, we weren't Catholic, and we weren't a state school. But when you are defined by what you are not, you lack vision, you lack direction. And so once we had dealt with the immediate problem of survival and found our home over there at Stark Lane, it became apparent that there was really an opportunity for us to grow and provide a much more polished version of what we offered to a much broader community.
Because this is really proposing a new learning context and quite a different learning context, we needed to know that the parents understood but were actually wanting it themselves. So we brought the community in and we said, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the different futures that might be available to us. Let's work together. And it was actually, on the day, it was actually I remember feeling really quite nervous at the beginning of it, going, well, it's either going to be a yes or a no. But as the workshop unfolded, it became, it was just amazing to actually see their thought processes, because it was this unanimous sense of, yes, this is what we want. This is actually what we want. And so I was going, wow, okay, that's our green tick.
And then they sort of went, here's all this visioning stuff that we've done. It was good to work with a client that had worked out a lot of who they were and what they stood for and where they were going, where sometimes you get invited to do work that the client hasn't really thought that through. So you have to kind of, manufacture it, and it's not really there. But for these guys, it was definitely there from the start.
Once we had articulated the vision, we knew then it was time we have to look at a new brand, because we have outgrown that when we are not that anymore.
Things change, people change, times change. And if we want to teach our kids to be flexible, to be open to change, to exercise intellectual rigour, we have to set that example ourselves and to do that. It's a lovely design which matches, I think, the school's love of art and creativity and its desire to foster that, which is so vital to children, is going to be represented as a fundamental part of the college.
What's lovely about and what's really appealing about the new brand is anyone in our community can provide something that will fit into it. So I think definitely it speaks of inclusivity, but it also speaks of creativity. The vision as to where we're moving to is something that will not necessarily be familiar to people as a school, but we're sort of there now. People come in and go, this is a school,